everyone, Nick Farrow here with another English discovery lesson. And the topic is, what's the difference between my teacher said you're late and my teacher was saying you're late? Here are some examples, and we're talking about the past progressive tense. And particularly, we're focusing on how to use it, because the grammar is really not so bad. Just one point, when you need time to read something or think about the answers to some questions, pause the video until you're ready. There are a couple of vocabulary words you may want to check in your dictionary. Here they are. So let's go back to the first question. What's the difference between the meaning of the simple past tense and the past progressive tense? In the two examples here, there's really not a very clear change of meaning, although the second example increases the feeling of the time being very long. Now in this lesson, we are going to discover that these two tenses can have an important difference, especially when they are used together in one sentence. So let's look again at the examples from the start of this video. Here, in the second example, the past progressive is used in contrast with the simple past. So, before we can explain this clearly, let's take a quick look at the simple past tense first. Looking at these examples, you can see that they are all about simple events. They tell one thing happening after another. The past tense isn't always about a sequence of one or two things, but these are some good examples. They should be easy to understand. When is the past tense? Let's take the example, we played golf. Now it could be that we played golf before lunch. Then we went to the clubhouse and then we had some drinks. That's one possibility of the meaning. However, it could also mean we played golf all morning. And in another case, we can use the past tense to say that we played golf every weekend. So this can be used with several different meanings. We're now moving on to the past progressive tense. We're going to use a short story with lots of examples, and that will probably help to make the meaning clear. First, one word only to check. The verb to splash. So first, read through the story once to understand the meaning. Pause the video until you are ready, and then read it again, looking for verbs in the past tense, and then for verbs in the past progressive tense. When you are ready, check on the next slide. Here they are highlighted, and you can see the past tense in blue color and the past progressive in orange. First, let's check the past tense verbs only. Here they are. Okay, most of these verbs are simple actions. But be careful, sentence number 1 and sentence number 5 and sentence number 8 and also sentence number 11 are not actions. They explain the situation, but they're still in the past tense. So let's look at where the simple past and the past progressive interact. Take a look at sentence number 2. When I woke up, it was raining. It was already raining. So I woke up is a pretty short action, but it was raining sounds like a much longer action. Same with sentence 4. As I was making my breakfast, my cell phone rang. Sentences 6 and 17 show the same pattern. You can check those out. And sentence 12 is also the same, but it's only the second part of the sentence. If you look at sentence 16, it only has a progressive pattern, was waiting. But that is really connected to sentence 15, when I ran outside. Okay. And now these sentences all have the conjunctions about time, when, as, and while, which are pretty similar in meaning, showing the connection of the two events in each sentence. Here you can see the conjunction and highlighted. This simply joins two short parts of a sentence together and shows that one thing happened after another. Sentence 10 is also highlighted. It begins with the word then, and this also shows the next thing happening. By the way, when you are writing, please note that all the examples of and are in the middle of the sentences and don't start with a capital letter. But then does have a capital letter and it begins the sentence. These are good points to remember. Now, we're going to take a look at these sentences with a graphic to make the meaning very clear. One afternoon, I was sleeping, and I planned to continue sleeping. But suddenly, the phone rang, and my sleeping plan disappeared. I woke up, and I answered the phone. No more sleep for me. Let's check that in a bit more detail. I was doing something. This is the situation, and it was continuing. But suddenly, something happened to interrupt that activity. And as a result, different things happened. So the past progressive tense is about the situation that was already happening, and the past tense is about something that happened when the first activity was already in progress. We usually use this combination when we want to describe an activity that is interrupted and stopped by another action. It's not always the case. For example, when I woke up this morning, it didn't stop raining. Okay, now let's look at some clips from a movie. We're going to look at 5 clips. They will be followed by 2 questions. Try to answer the questions for each clip. Don't translate into your own language. The meaning may change. Remember, the situation at the time any event happens will be in the past progressive. What then happened and what happened after will come in the simple past. Let's look at the first clip. By the way, the heroine's name in this movie is Holly. Here's Holly.
Hola. Don't tell me. Didn't know it was loaded.
Well, question number 1. What was Holly doing when the boy fired water at her? Well, she was eating breakfast. She was having some coffee. What did she do when the boy fired water at her? She took off her sunglasses. She put down her cup and she said something to the boy. Let's look at it one more time. There she was eating breakfast. And you also see that she was drinking some coffee. Here comes question 2.
Hola. Don't tell me. Didn't know it was loaded.
She took off her sunglasses. She put down her cup and she said something to the boy. Past tense, past tense, past tense. Okay, let's see if this works in the next clip.
Usually it's because they want something. They're afraid the truth won't get it for them.
You tell lies. Hello?
What were they doing when the phone rang? They were talking. What did she do when the phone rang? She stood up, she went to the phone and she answered the phone. Maybe you notice that the answer is in the same tense as the question. We have a couple more. Let's see how they go.
Possibly.
Or text.
Possibly.
You're a fat lump help.
That's right.
Can I have one of those?
One of what?
I think texted it.
Oh.
Vanille chocolat.
Question number 1. And the answer is, they were walking and talking by the river. Question number 2. She said, "Can I have one of those, please?" Next one.
Sylvie, what are you doing here?
I'm waiting for
for
Jean-Louis.
Jean-Louis.
Oh.
The answer to question 1. She was reading a magazine. And for question 2, she stood up and she spoke to Holly. Okay, one more.
Hello.
Hello, Peter.
Didn't you tell us?
Answer to question 1. She was watching a show outside with some kids. Second question. She turned and said, "Hello, Peter." Okay, let's move on to an exercise where you need to correct some mistakes. Yep, wake up. Just one more exercise. Well, actually, there's a demonstration first. It may help to see the difference in these two tenses. When I said hi, my friend was smiling. And here, when I said hi, my friend smiled. So actually, looking at the top again, you could say the nuance is that my friend was already smiling when I said hi. And in the second case, perhaps this was a reaction when I said hi. Does that help? Okay, to the questions. You have to work here. Here are 10 sentences. 7 have mistakes, 3 are correct. Pause until you finish them all, and we'll check them together. Okay, let's check number 1. When I got home early last night, my mum was saying, "You're early. You're early. You're early. You're early. You're early. You're early. Sounds crazy to me. No. She said, "You're early." How about number 2? Well, the way it's written here, it says you were doing all those 4 things at the same time, all at 7 o'clock? No. Use the simple past. I got up, I washed my face, I went to the toilet, and I ate breakfast. 1, 2, 3, 4, in sequence, not at the same time. Number 3, why, you don't need the past progressive. The car was too expensive, so I didn't buy it. Number 4, perfect. Boring lesson. Teacher was talking a long time. Everybody was sleeping when the teacher finished. I guess that's the teacher's fault. Number 5. The shop opened and then people waited? No. They were waiting before the shop opened. Number 6 is correct. 2 simple actions. Number 7 is wrong. Why do you use was going? It's not needed. John invited me to his party, so I went to his house. Number 8 is perfectly correct. Number 9. When you called, I was taking a shower, so I couldn't answer the phone. And number 10 is about the same as number 1. Yes. Well, that's too enthusiastic. Let's move on. Here are the correct forms. Take a look at them if you need to. And this is the end of part 1. That's it. Look for the link for part 2. Here it is. And please remember to like, if you can find the like button.